Hello and welcome back to Jews with the News. I'm Jack.
And I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
I like no, because for those of you who are listening instead of watching, I had my eye closed, one of my eyes, and I was doing my spot on
But
Captain Jack Sparrow
why?
impression.
But why?
Pirates of the Caribbean is amazing. Johnny Depp,
Okay.
Natalie Portman, Orlando Bloom. They're
I don't know
pirates.
who any of those people are. I don't know who any of those people
Oh,
are.
Johnny
I've
Depp
seen
is.
maybe one movie, and it wasn't even the first one.
You've
So,
only seen one movie?
and it wasn't the first one. I couldn't tell you which one it was though.
Right, but you know who Johnny Depp is.
I do know of a Johnny Depp.
Unless
Yeah.
you've been living under a rock for like 7 years. And Orlando Bloom, like
I actually just. I mean, like I know of. I barely. I don't know. I'm uncultured. Whatever.
Natalie Portman is from Israel, I think, and you're Jewish.
Well, you called her Natalie Portland.
Oh, that's my fault. Natalie Portman.
Was she actually in those movies?
Yeah, she was like the lady in the movie.
Was she? Are
Yeah.
you sure?
I'm positive. Unless I'm thinking of someone else.
What was the movie called? Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Was she? Huh, I guess she was. I never
And
knew that.
Zoe Saldana early on in her career.
Who's that?
Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know who that is then. Oh yeah, she was the girl from Avatar, right?
Whichever. Oh yeah, from not the Airbender.
No, not the Airbender.
The Blue People movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Anyway,
off that tangent, we have a great episode.
Yeah. How far off topic have we strayed?
Very.
Very off
that
topic.
was yeah, very. But we have a great episode planned. We have fun time.
Fun time. Lots of effort went into this one. We're very excited.
Yeah, lots of effort.
Yeah. All right. So, what's going on right now in the world, Jack?
Everything and nothing at the same time.
Everything.
I didn't know this was possible, but everything and nothing. Like I feel like nothing's happening, but like I said that.
No, I get like it feels like nothing's happening, but you're also getting like an alert on your phone like every 5 minutes, like, hey, something's happening. Hey, something's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's odd.
It's
odd. An odd feeling.
Yeah. Kind of like when you see Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 for the first time in theaters. Kind of that feeling.
What? I don't get that.
Can you not relate? That's okay.
I don't know.
No, but so what's going on in the world? Isn't there some stuff?
There is some stuff going on in the world. Unless you've been living under a rock for 7 years like me, you would know that there's a pandemic. But in lighter terms, it seems to be that we're on the verge, getting closer to a vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, two companies both said their vaccines are 95% effective. I think the UK approved the vaccines, so that's going to be pushed out in the UK soon.
Right, which I did see that Fauci was hating on the UK, and then backtracked. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know how that works. I don't know what's going on in the UK. Whatever. But it seems to be we're in, what is it, like the final stages, do they call it?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, obviously even after the vaccine comes out, it will still be probably like a year before everything's completely back to normal, just because it takes time to get all the vaccines administered, and like the disease won't be eradicated by any means, so it will take some time.
And plus there needs to be enough for enough people to take, and like it's gonna cost money,
right?
And we don't really know how much money that's gonna cost.
Exactly. And you have to remember,
and who gets to go first.
Yeah, exactly. And
you
also,
did see that oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you go first.
No, because this is kind of a tangent, so we should stay on this topic before I switch.
No, okay, well, I was just gonna say really quickly, like, a vaccine is different than like a pill you take when you have it. So even though we can develop a vaccine to prevent you from getting it, we still haven't been able
It
to
doesn't it doesn't
do
stop you
anything
from
once
getting
you
it.
get it, right? So if
It
you get it, we
limits the
don't really have it.
chances. It
Right.
limits the chances, but it's not like a cure. It's
Right.
not like once you get this vaccine, COVID can't touch you, and then you just
Exactly. Especially
start
because if
getting
it does,
coughed on by everybody. Like that's not
yeah.
good.
Anyways, what's your tangent?
All right. Did you see that the former presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton are all gonna get vaccinated on live television together?
What?
Yeah,
No way.
I was watching Trevor Noah,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a segment on that, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool that they're willing to get vaccinated together online. It's
Right?
like once you're in that group, like you get vaccinated together.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Wow.
presidents who get vaccinated together stay together.
Stay together. Yeah, I mean, well,
And
Bush and Obama have been quarantining in the same bubble for like, almost like 3 months now. I mean, both of them in Hyde Park, Chicago, just, kicking it.
yeah, they're just kicking it.
Yeah.
No, but
You know how comfortable George Bush feels in Chicago.
yes,
Yeah.
very. But it was funny because Trevor Noah was talking about how like by the time the vaccine like does come out and like this would happen, it's like Trump would also be a former president. Well, most
Right.
likely should be a former
Yeah,
president,
right,
should
exactly.
be a former president. And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, he was just making jokes about how they weren't including him. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But also at the same time, like they're doing this to be like, oh, like you don't have, like they're doing it so like they're telling the public, like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. Like it doesn't have bad side effects. Like we're doing it to be safe. But also, like, you do it then you're going to be fine if there are like actual bad side effects like that you will see that in the weeks to come.
Right,
So it's not
exactly.
just like you get vaccine on live television, great, like cool, like sick, but also like you don't know the full effects and they're probably going to keep that hidden, especially if there
Right.
is a significant side effect that actually does go wrong, which would suck
Yeah.
because that you just infected 3 former presidents with it.
God, there's so much stuff that's happened in the past 4 years that like I've just forgotten, right? Like I feel like we barely talked
Like
about
you
how
forgot Obama was president.
No, I feel like we barely touched on the fact that Trump got COVID and gave it to like Chris Christie, who was in the hospital for like 2 weeks, right? And like I feel like we completely forgot that Trump shut down the government for like the longest time in
Yeah,
American history.
when we were in DC, the government was
When we
shut
were
down.
in
That
DC.
was during a Trump presidency.
Hmm. And like we just completely forgot about, like, we have the minds of a goldfish, the memories of a goldfish, like right with Trump.
That that's the human population. No, it's
Right.
just in general. Like we forgot any.
What
Like,
kind of
could you tell me who won best feature last year in the Oscars?
Yeah,
No, you can't.
Parasite. No,
No, the year after.
the year before, you mean?
Yeah, yes. No, I'm
Uh,
talking about like next.
oh, next year?
Yeah, who won? No, obviously I meant the year before.
It was The Green Book. And then the year before that was Moonlight.
Well, why do you know these things?
Because I know these things. Okay, but no,
No,
but
but
like,
most people wouldn't. That's my point.
no, but like, I feel like with other, right, like with Clinton, everyone remembers one thing about it, right? Like, everyone remembers like one or two things about
Yeah, that
Clinton.
one thing.
Right.
It's just the one
But
thing, but
I'm
they don't
saying
remember
like there's
anything
so
else.
many things with Trump. I don't know if there's gonna be that one thing, right? Like he was impeached, and that's not even like the most memorable thing
No, the
he's
one
happened
thing is
done.
going to be how he failed with COVID.
You think so?
Or the one thing is going to be the fact that he's not giving up his power and then we're going to have to overthrow him. We're going to
Yeah,
have to stage a coup.
I'd be down. I'd join that militia. I'd join that armed militia,
Would you? Would you?
armed with my Second Amendment rights.
I was about to say you'd have the right to bear arms.
Hmm.
Would you look at that? All right. On other terms, on COVID, uh, what is it? They're making a faster test
Making
result
a
thing.
faster test too. Yeah, the FDA is in the process of approving a 15-minute test. So
So 15 minutes, like you get your results back in 15 minutes. Not it
Exactly.
takes 15 minutes to take the
No,
test.
no,
That
it's
would
you
kind of
get
be
your
wrong.
results back in 15 minutes. So theoretically, it'll be much easier to track down the virus because you won't have to, remember the people you were in contact with for the 3 days between when you
Right.
took the test and when you
Right.
got the or got the test. So that'll be really nice
Also,
too.
also, like it would be like it would be tested like right then and there. Like you would get tested, you would sit there, you'd wait for your results, and be tested there. Like it's not like sent
Exactly.
to some facility,
No, it's not supposed to.
whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how feasible is it? I haven't looked that much
I,
into it, but like, can it be mass produced to where like every like hospital has it, every
Probably every hospital, maybe not like every
healthcare
urgent
place?
care or like pharmacy. Like I don't know if Walgreens will be able to do
Like any
50
place
tests.
that's doing, or any place or any station that's doing testing now, can it get that tested?
Probably most, like I'd assume all urgent cares, I'd assume all hospitals, maybe not like I said, like all pharmacies or things like that, but I assume for the most part, any place that like any medical center, uh, I would assume would be able to get one of those in the coming months. But like I said, they still have to approve it. It's going to be approved. They just need to go through all the stages.
What would stop it from being approved?
If they look into the research and find out that someone was, messing with the misrepresented the data, lied about the results, if they ended up the results that, don't meet the criteria, although since they do, it looks unlikely that it will be, though it won't get approved.
Okay.
But yeah, it goes through any other process a drug would go through. I guess this is different because
Right.
it's a test, so it might go through different things. What do I look like? Dr. Fauci?
Actually, a little bit.
I feel like I would make
Can
a
you do
great
that? Can you do that impression?
no. I don't even remember what he
I don't.
sounds like.
He's got some sort of, what is it, New York accent?
You're killing me. You're really killing me.
Swiftly moving on.
Okay.
We
What
have.
yeah, what's going on in Georgia, Jack?
Oh yes, I was like, you started talking and you cut out, and I was really confused. I was like, I don't know what he's trying to say, so I
Yeah,
stopped. That's my bad.
you're okay.
Uh, Georgia. So I don't really know
The state,
why.
the state,
Honestly,
not the
there
country.
were like some special. Yes, true. There were like some special elections during the Senate.
Yeah, there were two Senate
Yeah, there
runoff
were two
elections.
special elections.
Hmm.
Yeah, and both of them finished within a margin to warrant a runoff. Is that the
Yeah,
correct terminology?
yeah. So during the election, like back in November,
Oh
neither
my god,
can.
that was a month
Oh
ago.
my God. Neither
Ah.
can. None of the people who ran for Senate in the state of Georgia got 50%, and so in Georgia that means that there's a runoff election. So
Why is it? Why does Georgia do that?
most states do actually.
Do
It's
they?
it's so that um, it prevents kind of a third party, like how like sometimes a third party will come in and steal an election because they'll take away voters, and that would have you know so it prevents that from happening. So your
So
goal
this
is
is okay. So
yeah.
they actually do it on majority rules as opposed to plurality rules,
Right, exactly. Um,
which I still don't understand why we don't do that for the presidency.
I have no idea either because it involved
But
two elections, duh. And
well, you could just do ranked voting.
that's true. Ranked voting and all primaries should be on the same day. Like like those two are,
Well, okay, with the primaries, like you're talking about like the Democratic primaries and stuff,
I mean
and the
both
Republican
Democrat and
primaries.
yeah. Because otherwise, states like Iowa get so much freaking pull. Like, do you know what I
Right.
mean?
I think instead of making all the I don't think you can make the primaries all in one day,
Like,
because
not legally, but like you
then it will
should.
just right. No. But like I think, because then it's just like whoever's winning in the polls. I think the first few states, instead of them being Iowa, New Hampshire, predominantly white, they should be more representative of America as a whole to to try to better dictate how it would
Yeah,
go out. Maybe put Super Tuesday just first.
but I don't mind like it being accurate to the polls as long as we give enough time for, the polls to represent how Americans truly feel, right?
No,
Like,
but the thing about our polls is that like once somebody does well in a state, they start to poll better. You know what I mean?
right,
And then like the differences in polls are seen like after each state. So like the polls
right,
are
but
never really representative of
no,
what
but
we
like
want.
I don't think that that's good, right? Because like before all the primaries, like every American has their own opinion, and that's right, that's who they believe should win. And then like in Iowa, for example, Pete Buttigieg began doing really well, and
Because of the
so
whiteness.
right, well, because of the whiteness, right? And so Pete Buttigieg began to pick up a lot of steam, and so he was picking up steam, whereas candidates like Elizabeth Warren and Kamala
Or
Harris and
even
Cory
Biden.
Booker or even Biden weren't picking up nearly as much steam, right? So, I
Right.
mean,
That's why I'm saying it shouldn't be Iowa
it definitely shouldn't
first.
be Iowa. I
I
get
think
what
it
you
should either
mean.
be like a group or like make the states like more representative of how America
Yeah,
is like diversity wise. Because if you look at it like if you just do it everybody on the same thing, like people who don't really care like about a specific candidate are just going to vote for the person who's up in the polls because they just don't care. Which is why that the first couple states have this influence. I mean, you look at Obama in 2008, he was looked at as a long shot, and then after Iowa, he won it, and then his poll numbers surged.
yeah.
It kind of goes hand in hand where like it's just like whoever is doing well at the moment has the higher polls, and then they'll tend to like generate steam, get more money, and then win the election.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I still don't think I fully agree, but I definitely think that,
I think if you
it'd be a
put
lot
something like
better.
I think if you put something like Super Tuesday, where you just have like a bunch of states but not all the states.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I still don't think it'd be as good, right? Because I feel like it's still creating like some sort of right. Because the only way to be truly representative of the American people is to have the American people vote, right? Because like if you choose like the Super Tuesday states, there's probably going to be a disproportionate representation of the American people in some way or another.
Well, it depends
Um,
on the states that are chosen.
right, but I'm saying I don't
It's
think there's any combination of states that makes a very representative view of the entire country, right? I mean, like there probably is, but like I don't know how one would figure that out, right? Like I just don't know how like
you probably could look at ideology maps, you could look at diversity maps, political
right,
maps,
but then you have to like combine like twenty
religious
five,
maps.
25 different 25
They
different
do it for
categories.
redistricting. They do
Each
it for redistricting.
No,
It's really not
redistricting
that
is
much different.
totally it's really different actually because redistricting happens on a state level, right? This is a national level.
All right, yeah, but there's however many districts in North Carolina, and they get split up like in weird sections
There are only
because they like do
13
the math
districts
and
in
do
North Carolina.
you,
There are 538 districts in America.
you get my point though. Even
I'm
in North Carolina, I just use that as an example. But you get my point though, right?
I get your point, but I don't think it's right. Like just like 25 minimum different categories. Each category has more than just two answers, right? There's going to be a
You
plurality
plug
of
it into a
different.
computer and it will give you something. I think it's doable.
Right, but
I
I
don't know what
think
you're
that the
talking about.
computer that does it is going to say, okay, you need 60% of North Carolina and 20% of Missouri, and right, like I don't think there's a way to say,
So why don't we
oh,
do
okay,
that?
well, because that's unfair too. Right then it's the same problem with the electoral college, which is, oh, suddenly these only like 25 districts are going to be the important districts, right? The same way.
All right. I will develop a computer
You will
program
develop
that
a
spits
computer
out only
program.
states.
Yeah,
That spits
okay.
out only states, and that's what we should do.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to the
Anyways, oh my
subject
God,
at
yeah,
hand.
sure.
The Senate races in Georgia. Voter registration closes. I doubt anybody watches our stuff in Georgia. So, but like if you do register to vote,
Ohio's the state where most people listen to us,
true.
aside from Missouri.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Fun fact. We also have a small base in India of about 15 people.
No, you're making this stuff up.
On
This is not
Spotify.
true.
No, this is all on Spotify, not on YouTube. Because we can't look at that
Are you
stuff
kidding me?
on YouTube, but we can look at our
That's
stuff
kind of
on Spotify.
impressive.
Yeah.
Good for us.
Good for us.
Anyways, if you can vote, register to vote. Even if you're not voting in this, register to vote.
Vote.com, vote.org.
Vote. Anyway, it's a weird situation. And have you looked at the polls?
I've not looked at the polls.
So I think the last polls that I looked at, I could be very wrong, but for some reason I feel like the Democrats were up in both of them, which was kind of not what was expected.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's really even right now. I think this one has, two of them have the Democrat up and two of them have a Republican up right now. Or
Right.
three of them have a Democrat up and two of them have a Republican up.
Right. Which is odd. If you look at the numbers in the election in November, the math would seem that the Republicans would get all the other Republican votes,
mm-hmm.
and the Democrats really wouldn't gain much because there were other Republican candidates in the race.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yes, there were other Democrat candidates in both races as well, but there were more Republicans getting more votes. That if you just move those Republicans to that, I know that's like grouping them together, and I shouldn't do that. But from like a number standpoint, you would think that the Republican candidate would still gain more than
mm-hmm.
that Democrat candidate would, just based on ideology.
Mm-hmm.
But the polls are showing not that. So my wondrance is, how accurate are the polls, and is there something else that's influencing this election?
Well, I mean, yeah, no, go ahead.
I was gonna bring in the thing about the Trump lawyers from like the Steal the Vote campaign, like what they've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. I don't get it, but they're telling Georgia voters not to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Does not make sense.
Makes no sense.
Are they saying this because they think they're going to overturn it and that voting now would be a waste of time?
Yeah, it's something along that line.
Even then, wouldn't you want like a precautionary thing?
Not if you think the precautionary thing is going to go the other way, right? Like,
no, but like, okay, let's just say you're 100% positive that you got it right, but just in case, it will take you 5 minutes to do the other thing to get it right a second time.
Right, but I think the thing is they don't think they got it 100% right. They're like, oh, we're not so sure, so we're just going to say we're right and we're just going to drop it.
No, I'm talking about like the lawyers are like 100% there was fraud, we're going to get this overturned.
Yeah.
But just in case, do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what they're going to do. I mean, I have no idea.
But it's not going to get, they're probably not going to find out like whether there is fraud or not, or whether like the election gets overturned until after the Senate election takes place.
Exactly. I think what's interesting is how this, because now that these are like the only two races going on, the only two major, political races going on, everyone who's, every Democrat is in Georgia right now, right? Every Republican is in Georgia right now. So
are they?
Yeah, like, well, not like everyone, but like, everyone who's
the only person, like the only person that I've seen in Democrat or Democrats wise or Republicans wise that I've seen in Georgia, like that's not normally in Georgia, is Andrew Yang.
Oh, really?
That's the only person I've seen.
Well, at the very least, all the money's going to Georgia right now, right? Like at the very least. And so, yeah, I think something they talk about for the state of Georgia is they call it like a 30-30 rule. So they say in order for Democrats to win Georgia, you need at least 30% of the white vote and 30% of minorities to show at the polls, right? And so that's like a thing that people say, that's like a thing that, like a one of the main strategy for how Democrats win Georgia. It's not like the only way they win, but it's the main strategy.
So that's like, not an actual law.
No, it's
It's a
like
strategy.
it's a strategy
Okay,
that the
I was
Democrats
really
have been.
confused. I was really
No,
confused.
sorry. It's the strategy that the Democrats have been using for like 12 years now to try to, and it worked this time, right? So you saw it was like 32% of white voters voted for Joe Biden, and it was like close to 40% minority turnout in Georgia. So now it's a question of can you repeat that? And so it looked like in the Senate races that wasn't happening, right? You weren't seeing 30% of white people vote for the Democratic senators. So what really needs to happen is you either need to get a lot more minority turnout or you need to get more white vote, more of the white vote basically for these two
Yeah.
candidates. And so with all this money coming in, I think that that's really what's helping Democrats kind of make that shift.
How do you think it's gonna end out?
Oh, I think the Republicans are going to win both of them, but
I agree.
it'll be close. I mean, good for Georgia, right? Who would have thought Georgia would, who would have thought that in the past
When
eight
Georgia was
years,
blue for the presidency.
right? Who would have thought that in the past 8 years, Georgia would be the one, Georgia would become more blue and Florida would become less blue, right? Like, I feel like in 2008, no one thought that. And now everyone's like, oh, yeah,
I
that's
feel like
obvious.
as much as Florida's become less blue, Florida's an enigma. They're
Florida's an
wild.
enigma.
Like they're
Yeah.
not blue or red. They're Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
They break the system.
Hmm.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk about one last thing really
Oh,
quickly.
so we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are. And it's Jack's heroism. So for those of
Oh,
you
I
who
don't like
don't
this.
know,
I don't like this.
so for those of you who don't know, Jack was a lifeguard for about a year, a little over a year. And you might be
No,
thinking, life
under a year. Under a
under a
year.
year? You
Yeah.
might be
Well,
thinking,
I mean, I was a lifeguard for 2 years. I haven't gotten recertified.
you haven't gotten recertified?
No.
Dang. Well, he was a
Yeah.
lifeguard for a very long time. And you might be
I worked
thinking,
as a lifeguard for about 9 months.
and you were an assistant manager, actually.
I'm not assistant manager. I was manager.
You were
The
manager.
hell? You're trying to undermine my status.
I'm sorry, and he was a manager.
It didn't mean much, but it was pretty cool.
And you might be thinking, lifeguard, wow, that sounds like a really boring job. I bet he just sits there and just pretends to save people all day. What a boring job, because that's what I thought, right? And I'm sure that's what all of you are thinking. But guess what, guys? He saved someone. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, someone was drowning, and he was like, "Come here, kid. Don't stop drowning. Let me help you. I will save you." And no, like, I'm telling the truth, right? Like, you dived into the water and you pulled this kid out of the water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add? How he was flapping in the water? How his mom was yelling, "Someone help! Someone help! Someone help!" How there was a shark
His mom
swimming.
wasn't doing that.
There was a
His mom
shark
wasn't.
swimming towards him, and you knew you had to get
That
him
did
out of
happen. I
enough
had to
time.
fight off the shark
Yeah.
as well. I kicked in the face.
No, but in all seriousness, you did save a kid's life, right? Like he was
Mhm.
drowning. You did save him,
Mhm.
and you were very well compensated for your effort in saving the life of a human
I
being.
don't like how you put it that way. I didn't deserve anything. I just did what I
Oh,
was supposed to
sure.
do. I didn't deserve anything special.
You were a 17-year-old lifeguard, okay? Your job was supposed to sit there and blow a
I was
whistle.
18 at the time.
I'm
I'll give you
sorry.
that. Come on.
Sorry. No, but it was really impressive. You saved someone, and you were given a little treat for your heroic act. And what was that, Jack?
Uh, I recently, even though this happened in January, um, over Thanksgiving, a couple days after Thanksgiving, I was sent this lovely letter from the parents of the kid I saved, and they said how they were so thankful for me and that Thanksgiving has brought like memories of this and that they're just thankful for me, which I almost cried. I was
Hmm.
like speechless. I
Yeah,
didn't know what to say. I
yeah,
didn't like think that I deserved like this letter. I was just doing what I got paid for.
hmm,
It's nothing. It's really nothing special, but it's really nice. They're really nice people. So I was glad I could, I guess, help them out. And
yeah,
then they gave me a couple gifts for like the holidays
yeah. Like
and
some
stuff.
gift cards, like
Yeah,
some
some gift cards,
some gift
but
cards. Yeah,
um, yeah,
That was really
That's
sweet.
that's it. Yeah, very.
That was a
You're
great
watching
story
this.
of a hero.
Shout
Yeah.
out you.
We love to tell stories of heroes. All of our guests are heroes in our eyes.
Anyway, if anybody wants a Chick-fil-A gift card, I got one. I don't eat Chick-fil-A, so
Neither do I.
if you actually made it to this, I I'm not gonna say I will because I might not, but your odds will heavily increase if
DM us.
you DM us on Instagram
Yeah,
saying I want that Chick-fil-A gift card.
exactly.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest. I kind of want to give it away to like everybody who I'm thankful for.
Oh, that's very sweet. That's very generous. Give it to all the Jews.
I'll give to every single Jew.
Every Jew. Exactly. All right, well, this
Okay.
is a great episode. Thank you so much for stopping by, our Jews with the News fans. Yeah, have a great week.